Hey everybody, welcome to AV Career Masterminds. I am so excited to be sitting here at InfoComm. Kind of a random episode today. We've got two very special guests, which I'm not going to introduce because I will not give it the justice that they need. So first, let's go with the unexpected, which I was so excited. She's here. Joey, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Joé Lloyd, Senior Director of Business Development at AVIXA.
Yay! And my other very special friend that I love dearly, guest, Chris.
How you doing? My name's Chris Neto. I am a Market Development Manager here at Starin and resident coffee boy.
Resident coffee boy. Yes. And Jedi Master, social media Jedi Master,
yes,
personal brand
yes,
Master.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
We love
appreciate
that.
It. Thank you.
Oh, he taught me, he gave me some pointers last week. Woo!
And it worked.
Tell you what.
And it changes everything.
Oh, tell you what.
So for those that don't know, my podcast is all about trying to find a job in the AV industry, looking for a job. I interview people that are hiring, that need jobs, things like that. So this being a little different episode because you guys aren't looking for a job. You guys have great jobs. But what is, can you, being seasoned, and I hate to use the word veteran because I don't think we're ever a veteran in the AV industry because you there's so much to learn, but being seasoned in the industry, what are
Can I be spicy seasoned?
You can be spicy seasoned. You are spicy seasoned.
Tagine seasoned?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put a little tagine.
Well, we
Can
can
put tagine on fruit. That's
No.
the whole thing.
That's a
That's
whole
a whole
other
other
episode.
right?
So, what can you, Joey? What advice can you give to somebody that is, say, just currently unemployed for whatever reason, whether they decided to leave the company they were at, whether they're new getting into the AV industry but they're not working? What is one or two things you can say they should be doing that maybe they're not thinking about trying to get a job here within the audiovisual industry?
I think that it's really important to use your voice. And what I mean by that is I think we're often shying away from just asking. And we do that in every aspect of our life, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, somebody was telling me this week, I don't know who they asked. I don't really remember the context of the conversation because, Lord, we've had all of them. But it was something along the lines of, I just asked for a cookie and they found me a cookie, and that was all I wanted in life was a cookie. So just tell people what's going on. Not being employed, I know it has all the connotations in the world, but let people know that you're looking. And I think that the other thing, and this is just sort of the life lesson, whether you're employed or not employed, which is connecting people and always just sort of be working that LinkedIn,
Right.
That profile and making sure that you're really connecting with people. In all of my previous roles, I was really selective about LinkedIn. And I would not take connections from people I didn't know. If I couldn't tell you exactly who I knew this person and we hadn't met face to face, I was unlikely to have that connection.
Right.
That's changed pretty dramatically in my current role, but I can tell you that if I ever needed to, I can go to my LinkedIn profile and I legitimately know who's there and whom I can ask for connections.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Like, recently, from being here at the show and talking to people, like, you know, my connection requests have gone. I don't think, unless it's really random, I don't think I've ever said, no, I'm not going to connect with somebody, because you don't know who they know and why they're connecting with you. Just because you don't know them, you know, they're connecting with me for some reason. So I'm not as selective, like you said, you know, as I was previously either. Let's see.
I mean, there's always
know.
something. You never know who's looking at what, but I think it's really interesting when you sort of make connections. So I had an opportunity this week to invite someone to something that they were very, very interested in. And I'm pretty sure it didn't just make their day, it kind of made their whole week.
Right.
And the long-term effect of this, and I talk about this a lot in marketing too, is if you're going to ask for somebody's information, you give a gift. I have given a gift, and it's not a gift that cost me money.
No.
But I've created a genuine connection, and so it's a genuine connection, whether it's LinkedIn and it's digital, or it's in person and it's an invite to something, or whatever that is. But it is, I have created that connection,
Yes.
and I think that's when somebody said you always be working, always be closing. It's create that connection. Have a reason why somebody remembers you.
Right. Well, and understanding that, going back to the connecting, that's what I love about you, Chris, is regardless, people want to know you. We experienced it the other day standing out in the hallway, and we were just chit-chatting. I don't even know if we were trying to figure out if we were, going to get something to eat or getting something to drink, and somebody came over. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, I wanted to introduce you. I wanted to meet you. I wanted to say hello. You've got that network. So how can you, somebody that's not utilizing the network, which I wasn't utilizing Twitter, and you taught me how to use that, in which I did listen. I listened, right? That's all you have to do is listen. So how can you help somebody say, how important is that social media aspect of it, since you are so prevalent there?
So everything I've ever done on social media has been a direct result of an article that I wrote. Ironically, as we speak today on it, I had lost my job. And when I lost my job, I posted that I'd lost my job, but that I had a new job, which led me to being found by a magazine editor who asked me to write the story of how I found the job in a bad economy. And I said I use social media. And without going into that launched my social media stuff, because once and I wasn't aware of this, but a friend of mine reached out and said, hey, you got 2 articles now published. You're a published writer.
Oh,
I said, wow, that sounds fancy. And they're like, yeah, you get on Twitter because people want to talk to the person who wrote it. I said, people want to talk to like Stephen King, who writes books, but why me? Well, you're providing information, and they want to know. And so I signed up for Twitter, and one thing led to another. Next thing you know, I'm here 13 years later. My brand has been built quietly, not really, I wouldn't say quietly, but consistently over a 13-year period, right? I was nobody in the sense that I was just a technician making the way, right? But I needed a differentiator. I didn't seek like social media to separate myself, but that's what it did. I became good at what I do on social, enough that people want to hear me talk about it. And that was the difference, is that when people started asking me how you do it and how I did it, and I'm like, I just post every day, right?
Which I have learned. Has he taught you how to post every day on Twitter, Joey?
So it's not that I don't know how to post every day.
It's what she posts every day. And, and the strategic part of it.
So we may or may not know that Joé Lloyd used to head up communications. So Joé Lloyd had a lot of social media experience. When Joé Lloyd gave away social media, she kicked it to the curb. Right. For a long minute. So no, I've made a very conscious effort that I wanted to really get going again on LinkedIn. Yeah. And I've been ignoring X for a little bit. Like I go on from time to time, I post a little thing. I've got this Instagram thing going, which I started off just being a stalker on Instagram and never posting, and then all of a sudden I kind of started posting, and I never made it private. So now I've got this like public-facing Instagram that I don't know if I want to have that. I don't know, because that's kind of like my fun place. But LinkedIn is my workplace, and so is Twitter or X. But I made this conscious effort, and so for me, it's been once a week, and it's been targeted toward what do I do and why do I want to use LinkedIn. And Chris and I actually go back and forth, because he's like, hey, you should post this, and I'm like, that's not my brand. That's not actually the thing that I want to talk about. That's not why I'm using it.
Well, and that's important. The brand is important.
Yeah, and I appreciate everything about the brand. I don't really want to be famous. It's not about a brand. No. For me, I want to increase my opportunity to have people really connect with me on that genuine level. And so when I post, I'm posting about trying to find unique ways to not say, hi, I sell a thing. Right. Please contact me today. I want it to be like, look at this really cool thing. Don't you want to be part of it? Like, I'm a funny, kitschy kind of lady, so like I want my post to be kind of funny, kitschy, and give me some information.
You also have to show your personality, I think, too. Like, you can't just always be
correct.
this is now nobody, we don't, it could be all rainbows and unicorns posting, and then, everything on the back end might be a complete mess. That's totally fine, because that's sometimes how it is with me. But what you're posting should, yes, be relevant to what you enjoy, what your brand is, but also who you are as a person. Right? That's where I think Twitter is beneficial.
If you hate what you're doing, then you're not doing it right. No. You have to be happy with it, right? And you can inject personal things into it, right? Spending a week here and hanging out with Joey and yourself, I don't need your Twitter to understand that somebody has a thing for well-chopped salads that are piled high with chicken on it, and somebody next to me likes to go take a look at sneakers that are being hand-painted and recreated in front of them. I mean, I get that, and I can see those pictures popping up, but they don't necessarily align with the brand.
Right.
Their chicken salad may one day show up on an Instagram post.
That would be an Instagram post.
That's an Instagram post.
So, Twitter
and there's a place for it.
Ridiculous memes.
Yes.
Instagram are pretty pictures, except for there was one this week that was not a pretty picture, but the person I was posting with didn't have all the other socials, and I'm like, okay,
yes, use this one.
We're doing this one. And LinkedIn is where I want to do business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what else can we give to those professionals that may be here at InfoComm, and they're currently with an employer, but they might not be happy, or they want to change because they might be at the shelf? What advice can you guys provide to them on? It's okay to do that, because it is okay. You need to be able to do what's great for you. So what can you say to them for those that might be looking to change but don't really want to know that they're looking to change?
What you're talking about is not taboo. It is it's always been there, right? Even in days before digital. Mm-hmm. Honestly, you always have to be aware of your surroundings. You don't know how the market may change, and the market is volatile. Right. Today it's hot, tomorrow it'll be cold. No matter what you get, no matter what happens, you have to take care of yourself, right? You have all these different things going on in the world, and you can't control them. So one thing you can't control is how you're seen, how you're heard, how your things are done.
Right.
And your brand is you. Pick a couple things. Something that I would say on LinkedIn that's very easy to do is keep your information current, up to date. Use the QR code that's hidden in the drop-down menu.
That is hidden, by the way.
Yep, it is hidden, but if you go drop down the 3 buttons, you have a LinkedIn QR code that you are absolutely use as your business card. So if you're currently out of work, don't spend the money on the business cards. You have those QR codes right there. Right. Use them. Automatic connection. Second thing you want to do on LinkedIn, really quickly, easy one, take a new headshot. I don't want to see your high school picture. I think it's great that you played on the hockey team, but it's over. It's let's get professional. And a professional shot has changed, believe it or not, from being a suit and tie picture to you can just be in a black and white t-shirt.
Right.
I speak from experience on that. But update your picture, keep your information current, use the QR code, and the other part about it is don't be afraid to make a connection, because today that person may be the person you're talking to and a competitor. Tomorrow he may be your customer. The next day you may be his coworker.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with that, and to be honest with you, your employer is worried about trade secrets, not about who you know. Right? And I can tell you that at times I feel like I'm employed because of some of the people that I know. And if I was to stop the day I got hired getting to know people, I wouldn't have known you, I wouldn't have known you, and I wouldn't have known half the people in here, because every day is a networking day.
Well, and that's the one thing I do love about this industry is it's small enough that you get to know everybody, and it's a family. It's a big family. So guys, thank you for your time. Quick episode here. So how can everybody find you? Joey, if everybody wants to, we've kind of talked about it already, but where can they find you on the soch?
You can find me at Joé Lloyd pretty much everywhere, and if you actually want to chat with me about some other stuff, hit me up, J Lloyd at AVIXA.org.
Awesome. Chris, how can they find you?
Well, first I have to big shout out to whoever keeps sending me memes about chickens and ducks. I don't know what the heck that kind of foul humor I get sent to my DM. That thanks to whoever's sending me that. So welcome to the social media world. You can find me at Chris_Neto on X or Twitter. On LinkedIn, you can find me as Christopher Neto CTS. CTS, obviously, because I'm proud of the last 3 letters, and it separates me from the other Christopher Neto, Australian guitar player.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I did not know that.
I got one more LinkedIn thing.
Yeah.
Change your URL. Don't let it be the long string of numbers.
Yeah. Just change it to Chris Neto or to
I don't know how to do
don't use
that.
my name. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's
we're gonna have to-
LinkedIn
we're gonna have
dash
to post-
in under like LinkedIn backslash in backslash mine's Christopher Neto.
Okay.
Yes.
It works.
Do that.
We're going to have to look at that.
It
Yes.
becomes your
We'll-
website and use it as a home base for everything else.
It
that
will.
you do social.
We will post that. I will put that on my LinkedIn channel, how to do that, and on my Twitter, we'll make sure you guys know how to do that. But sorry, Chris.
That's it. I'm done.
That's it. You're good?
That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you both doing this with me. And guys, remember, we are all more than words on a resume.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
This is AV.
This
is AV Nation.
This is AV Nation.